next speaker. As a young assistant district attorney in inner Kansas City, oh, by the way, if you guys want some more free shirts, come on up and listen to the speaker. I'm about to throw out some free shirts for y'all. As a young assistant district attorney in inner city, Kansas, Brian quickly learned that writing search warrants and accompanying the police as they took a ram to someone's door was a lot more exciting than prosecuting forgery, auto burglary, and traffic cases. The narcotics officers he worked with were the thrill-seeking type who were delighted in looking like Serpico and doing battle with their rival gang, the dope dealers. Brian was a 25-year-old blue-collar kid and has never been involved in something so exhilarating. Brian moved on to the General Legal Counsel of the Kansas Highway Patrol, and Kansas was a wide-open state, and the interstate highways host a fair amount of the country's transnational drug shipments. From then, Brian went on to enter the private practice of law, and to supplement his income, he also took a job as the part-time city prosecutor for an affluent, all nearly white suburb of Kansas City. He did the job he was assigned to, but he quickly realized that his heart was not in it. Now, Brian's only association with the drug war is now to oppose it. It's clear to him that the war on drugs clearly creates more misery than it prevents. Brian's a member of the National Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers and Normal Legal Committee. The vast majority of his practice is devoted to the defense of DUI and drug cases. So everybody put a big round of applause together for our next speaker, Brian Leininger.
Hello. I'm here mainly today on representing a group called LEAP. It stands for Law Enforcement Against Prohibition. Some of you have probably heard of LEAP. If you haven't, check into it a little bit. It's a group of mainly former police officers, but there's current police officers, there's former judges, former prosecutors like myself, all people who used to work on behalf of the drug war, realize that not only was it not effective, it was counterproductive, and now speak out against it. Am I too close? Okay. So LEAP has a nationwide group of speakers, mostly former police officers, as I said, who speak to big groups like this or small groups like the Kiwanis Club or the Lions Club or whatever club in the little cities all over the country, advocating the legalization and regulation of all drugs, marijuana and all other drugs. And our main stand, you know, each LEAP speaker has his own reasons and his own thoughts, but LEAP's position, LEAP's main stand is that the war against drugs is, like I said, not only ineffective, which is clear, but counterproductive in that it causes a great amount of misery and really solves nothing. As for me, as Kelly told you, when I got out of law school, I was very young. I took a job as a prosecutor. And to tell you the truth, you know, I was somebody, I never had much experience in life, grew up in a little town and didn't have much experience in life. And man, was it fun, you know, doing all that crazy stuff. And I had a whole lot of power that I'd never had before as a 25-year-old guy or whatever I was. You know, I'd write search warrants. I'd go out while the officers executed the search warrants. And it didn't take too long to realize we weren't really accomplishing anything. You know, when you arrest one dealer, there's 5 more fighting, and literally fighting, to take the spot. When you take 100 pounds of marijuana out of somebody's trunk out on the highway, it's, as you know, just a tiny drop in the bucket, and there's a lot more where that came from. And every time they get one trunk full, there's 1,000 more that go through that they don't get. So it's totally ineffective. But the, like I said, the when you take out one dealer, there's 5 more literally fighting to take it. That's people that don't or choose not to have job prospects. This is how they make their living. They fight for that niche there, and there's a lot of harm being caused that way. So LEAP's idea is legalization across the board, and LEAP's official position is regulation, something similar to the way prescription drugs are now, you know, except that you wouldn't have to have a prescription. You get it, the drugs are regulated, so they're safe, so the amounts are known, so the purity is known. People know what they're getting, they know what they're not getting. And doing so would eliminate, well, first of all, it would save the country billions and billions of dollars. The country's looking for ways to save money. Think of the police, the money that goes into the police and enforcing it, the money that goes into the courts and prosecuting it, and the enormous amount of money in housing prisoners. It's, like I said, billions of dollars a year. And I think when you go back to the beginning of the drug war, calculations have it over $1 trillion. That would go a long way toward a lot of good things if that money was available. And the damage that's done. Somebody who, and I see this all the time. Right now I'm a criminal defense lawyer. I see this all the time. Some young person enjoys marijuana. They don't have a lot of money to buy it. They start growing some. They start buying bigger amounts and selling it to their friends, basically enough so they can afford the marijuana they want. And I don't see them until they come to me after they've been arrested, but they don't realize, you know, it seems normal. All their friends are doing the same things. They don't realize how much trouble they're getting into or possibly getting into. Really just sharing it with your friends is a distribution. It's a felony. And I've got a lot of young people who come to me charged with serious felonies just because they bought a little bit and sold some of it to their friends. And you know how that works. The police pick somebody off in a car, somebody who looks like you folks look. I didn't get stopped pulling up, coming down here. Okay.
Bet you heard that.
Okay. If I'm holding it too close, let me know. I don't know if you can hear me or not. This is good? Okay. What was I talking about? I think I was talking about how, oh, that's right. I was wondering, like, up where I'm at, there used to be the Wakarusa Festival in Lawrence, Kansas. I'm sure some of you have been there. And they would set up perimeters out there and shake everybody down coming in. I didn't know if I was going to see that coming in here or not. I wasn't worried about myself. They don't stop people that look like me. But they do you. So I was wondering if I'd see that. But, you know, the way it works, people will get stopped in a situation like that. They'll have a little bit of marijuana in the car. They've never had a record before. And the police will tell them, you know, I can either turn this over to the prosecutor or I can make this go away. Why don't you just set up a couple of your friends, I'll make buys from them, we'll bust them. And as crappy as that sounds to you, a lot of people do it. A lot of people do it because they're scared to death. Anyway, all that would go away. All that would go away. And the number of deaths, people fighting over drug territory, people killed in search warrant service, police officers get killed doing that stuff too. All that stuff would go away. And a big thing in the news now is the situation in Mexico and on the Mexican border. And you know, people will talk to me about how terrible that is, and I'll tell them, I could make it go away in the snap of a finger. And all of the fighting in Mexico goes on because those people are making a ton of money moving marijuana up to the United States. If it was legalized here, the market would go away for them. Their market would evaporate just as quick as you can snap your fingers, and those folks would have to find something else to do for a living. So it only makes sense. I would encourage you all to check out this organization that I'm a part of, LEAP, Law Enforcement Against Prohibition. You can just Google it and learn all about it. The website's got kind of a funny domain. It's leap, LEAP.cc. Why they, I guess leap.com or org was gone. I think they could come up with something better than that, but that's what it is. But Google it, you'll find it. I would encourage you to join. It doesn't cost any money to join, but there's strength in numbers. The organization would like to have as many members as possible. All you got to do is sign up. I'm sure if you want to, they'll send you some emails and some information about different things. If you don't want it, you don't have to get it. But I would encourage you to go and sign up. I really think it's a good organization because, frankly, and I hope I'm not offending anybody, but when somebody who looks like a lot of you is going around advocating the legalization of marijuana, people say, oh, so what? They want it because they want to make it easier for them to smoke it. When somebody who looks like me comes and advocates the legalization and regulation of all drugs, I really think it gets people's attention because I look like your high school principal or your whatever. And, there's a certain amount of support right now for legalization. The people you want to get are the people who are a lot of your parents or the people that look like me, and I'm going to persuade them a lot easier than you are. So, and at some point we'll get enough, and the word that's in, or the phrase that's in vogue now is a tipping point. And sometime we're going to get to the tipping point, and it's going to tip. Unfortunately, I was talking with somebody earlier today. I think where we're at, I'm in Kansas, you're in Missouri, right here, the same area, maybe about the last place in the United States that tips, but at some point it's going to happen. So check out the LEAP website, look what LEAP is doing, get involved in all these other organizations, of course, and we'll make this happen. Thank you.